In this blog, we will see what is a function, how to declare a function, and what are the usages of using a function in programming. So, in our previous tutorials in this Kotlin series, we have seen the introduction to Kotlin, variables declaration, and specifying their data types, and also looping concepts. So, in this part of the tutorial, we will be seeing what are functions and how many types of functions we can declare in our programming. So, for example, we want to add two numbers here. Consider 10 and 20. So, and we are declaring another variable result, by using which we are adding these two variables, and later we will print it onto the screen here. So when you run this programming, no doubt you will be getting the output 30. But what if you want to have this particular same task of adding two numbers 10 or 20 times in your program? Will you be doing the same every time? Of course, it is right. Performing the task, you need to perform the code, but using the same code several times, don't you think it's wastage of your resources? So, for which we can create a small function here. Let us create a function. So, here the keyword is fun. So, by typing fun, the compiler understands that we are trying to create a function. So, here we are just pasting the code which we have used above. So whenever we require to perform this particular task, no need of semicolon here, so we can just call this particular method, that is function, and you will be getting the same output here. So even if you change the numbers, it will perform the same task, and you can call this particular function any number of times in your code. Okay, it's good, but it's a static one. Whenever you want to change the numbers, so the values in this particular variables, how we can do? So here comes the parameter passing. So what we are having here, a and b are two integer variables, right? So declare them here with proper data type, and also we are declaring b here. So you can just remove these two things. So what are the values you are passing to this particular function will be accepted by these two variables and will be processed accordingly. So here we can pass 15 comma 25. I am passing here. So these two variables we are passing to this particular function here, and it is accepting them, and it is processing and printing the result here. Let's try to run and see. 15 plus 25 is 40. So here we are passing parameters to our function. So this is advanced usage of this function compared to the previous function which we have used, where we have just statically specified the numbers and we have computed and displayed it onto the screen. So here's the another way, that is passing parameters to our function. We can also provide some more features to our function, like what if I don't want to pass any value, I just want to call the function. Yes, or else I have forgot to pass one for the value of b and specifying a default value here 10. So here you can see we have declared the variable, and I am also initializing the initial value here. But here if I am passing 35, okay, so we have provided a default value 10, and also I am providing the value 35 at the time of calling. So what will happen? So now let us try to run and see. 15 plus 35 is 50. So you got the output printed to be 50 here. So you may have a question. We have provided the value of b to be 10 here, so why the value is now 50? Because you have provided the value of 35 at the time of function calling. So it will consider the value and it will override the initial value which you have provided here. So here we are providing a default argument here. What is the use of providing a 10 here is if you have skipped providing the value of b here, so it will not ask you for the value of b here. It will consider the default value which you have provided at the time of this initialization here. And if you run the code now, 15 plus 10 here, you will get 25 as output here. So this is a third way of declaring the function here using a default arguments here. So yes, now our program is very small and here you can remember these two variables and it's not a difficult scenario for you to call the function. But what if you are having 10 to 15 parameters to your function, and as you are skipping some parameters here by using default arguments here? So what's the scenario in such case? It will be a confusing, right? So we can just make use of the named arguments concept here. So here you can see a and colon, right? I'm just zooming a little bit so that you can see a and colon. We have not specified or we have not typed here, but it is displaying by default because it is considering the value 15 to be for the variable a here. So the same way you can specify the value, the name of the parameter you can specify here. So for example, I want the value of b to be 15. So here I am specifying b here and equal to 15, and we are getting an error because it is asking for the parameter a here. So also we can provide the value of a here 20. But coming to the declaration, we are accepting a first then b, right? So according to the sequence I am speaking, so here a comma p, but at the time of calling we are calling b and a here. But you can see here we have provided it according to the name arguments here, so it's no problem. It will go exactly, a will be going exactly to the a position here and b will go to the b position here. If you have any doubts, let's try to print the values also. A is, you can just print the value of a, and b is here. Now try to run the code and you can see the value of a is 20. Here you have declared the a value to be 20, so it is exactly going into the variable a here, and b is 15, so it is exactly going into the b position here. So here we, with the using of the named parameters, we are passing the parameters accurately to whatever the position it might be. So here we have seen the four concepts till now, like declaring a default function and passing parameters to the function and also providing default arguments. So here we will be seeing another way of declaring a function. It's called a return functions here. So here you can see we are not returning anything here, so we are just trying to print the values within the function itself. So now I don't want to print the value within the function here, I just want to get the value here and I want to print it here. So I want to declare the result in our code itself. So just paste it here and remove this and just add it here. So here we are adding these two numbers 15 and 20 here. So just provide it without any names here. So here we are adding these two numbers and we are storing in this particular variable here. And I don't want to print here, I just want to print this here itself. So I want to print the result in my code itself. So here we need to calculate the addition of these two numbers and we need to send it back to our code here. So for which we need to specify the return type here. So here we are providing the return type to our function here. So the return type is integer. So as we are performing a calculation, I am using a return type to be integer. So whenever you are using a string or you want to display a message, then we can use a return type to be string here. So according to our requirement. So now you can see a error. So it is asking for a return type. So return a plus p. So we are adding these two numbers and I am returning back to our main method here. So now we are passing 10 and 20. So this 10 and 20 will enter into our function and addition is performed and then it returns back to the main and it gets printed onto our screen here. So now try to run the code and here you can see it is that we are declaring a return type to our function to get back the result and process it for later use. So now we will see a single expression function here. So now let us see the single expression function now. So here we have declared a function for adding a plus b in 3 lines here. So when you just want to simplify the function, you can just remove these two curly braces here and also the return keyword, and here just try to provide the equal to symbol here. So what we are doing here is like we are accepting two variables and here we have provided a default variable for 10. You can just skip it for now. So here we are providing a return type int here and here we are adding a plus b here. Let us try to provide the value of a to be 40 here, and now 40 plus 10 is 50. We will be observing the output now. So try to run the code and check whether the function is working or not. So yes, we have got the result 50 here, but here you can see it is a single line. We have declared our entire function here. So we are calling the function here by providing the parameters and we are trying to display the result here. And also you can just directly add this into our print block and it serves the purpose. So the same result we can get by running this line of code also. So this is how we can simplify our functions into a single line. So this is how a different ways of declaring functions in Kotlin. Hope you like this tutorial, and if you are a beginner you can also follow our Kotlin series. I am providing the link in the description section below, and also if you have faced any queries in this particular tutorial, do let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this tutorial, do like, share and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content.